Okay, so I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube regarding how to install a wireless charger in your Yukon or your Tahoe or your Silverado, I believe from the years 2015 up until 2019. Now, I have a 2019 GMC Yukon. It did not come with the wireless charger, as you can clearly see right here. It's just got the little pad thing or whatever there. But after looking at a few posts and looking at different items or whatever, I discovered, and looking at one of the videos that actually showed one that did come with the wireless charger, this right here is the same setup. The only difference is this pad right here actually looks like this pad right here. This is the pad that comes with the wireless charger, and it actually, if you pull this piece up here, sits exactly on top of it. If you see there, it sits, it goes in the exact same spot basically. So I did some studying and I figured out that if I pop this off, now I've already done this, so I'm not going to take it back off or anything like that. I'm not going to take a whole bunch of stuff apart because this video is pretty much like an afterthought after I've already done. So I will just go over some of the things that will help you guys out. So if you have a GMC, I guess a Chevrolet Silverado that has this type of armrest in there, then there's a different type of armrest where the charger actually, it looks like it comes out to about right there somewhere or something. But if your armrest looks like this, what I'm doing right now will work for you more than likely. So first thing I did was I popped, as you can see, this is the cover right here. Now gotta get back some so you can see this cover. Hold on, sorry, it's a little bit, I gotta get back some. So this cover right here, when you pick your armrest up, it's gonna look something like this at the bottom, and it's got these clamps all around it. You got to stick a pry tool in there and then you can pop that off. So let's pop that off. Now, as you can see, this right here is the wireless charger that I ordered for the new 2018-2019 upgrade. That's the QI or whatever you call it. It will work for the iPhone and the Android phone. It's not the old model. So this is the upgraded one. I've already attached it to here. Now, before I put this on here, there was 4 screws there. When you took that cover off, you could tell that it was already set up for a wireless charger. It just wasn't there. Now, I discovered that on the upgraded charger, it came with a harness, which is this harness here. Now, I'm going to get a little bit closer because that harness had 4 wires in it. Now, there was a plug at the end of this harness, but since I don't have the wireless charger already installed, there was no plug to install it into. So I cut that plug off. Now, I've seen in some, I've actually looked in the GM parts place, and they actually used to sell this module with this harness without the plug on it and instructions on how to wire it into your vehicle if you don't have a wireless charger. I tried to order that at first, but they were out of it and they didn't know if they were ever going to get it back or not. So I ordered this one from, I believe, infotainment.com or something, where they had the GM upgrade, and it came with this harness, and it did have a plug on it. So that plug, as you can see, had 4 wires in it. Now, I figured out, and I'm not going to go into the specifics how I figured that out, but after looking around and stuff, I figured out that the aftermarket wireless charger that they say to install in here only has 2 wires in it. So if you had a 4-wire system, 2 of the wires you weren't going to use with the aftermarket charger. So I figured, well, if I don't need nothing but 2 wires for the aftermarket charger, then I'm sure I only need 2 wires for the OEM charger. So I'm assuming that the other 2 wires that's left are some type of signal wires that send a signal to the head unit telling it that the phone is charging, so you can actually see the icon up there. But anyway, for all intent and purposes, I figured out that you only needed 2 wires. And the black and the purple, as you can see, coming from this harness attached to a switched 12-volt power source, which I actually ran from, if you look where I popped it up at there, you can see that this wire here is running through there, and it actually goes, put this down, to the back console right here. And there's a, where you got your, and you walk around, and I can show it to you. So if you look back here, that's the infotainment console, and there's 4 screws down here that you take off, and you just lift up on it and pop it off. And right there where the cigarette lighter is at, which is right here, take these cell phone chargers out, it's right here. There's a plug behind that. Infotainment sells a harness that you can plug into this cigarette lighter behind this console, and it will actually distribute 12 volts from here into that harness, and it sells the harness and everything, and you can plug it back into the lighter, and then the lighter will work independently, and then you'll have a 12-volt switch power source to go into there. So that's what those 2 wires were that you saw. So they are tied into this. Put that back in there. So you need a 12-volt switched power source. So as I was showing you, that's the 12-volt switch power source there, going to the purple being your hot, and your black being your ground or neutral. And this is the wireless charger that I ordered from infotainment.com. I believe you can still get it from GM too, as long as you don't ask for the actual up the kit or something like that. I think you just get the charger or whatever the case may be. But anyway, this is a charger, and as you can see, the 4 screws were already there that mounted to here, because it was already set up for that. Now if you look at the top of the console, this is what it looks like now. Now I've already taken the bolts out, the screws out. So if you go to the back, again, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5, 6, looks like 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7, if you look at it, there's 7 screws that hold this like trim plate in right here. So once you take those screws out, as you see, the trim plate just pops right off. And there's the OEM, the rubber mat that came with that without the charger. You take that out, And now you can see where I've installed the new upgraded charger there. Now on the back of here, there's a little tab there. And then as you can see on the back of here, there was also a little tab. I cut that tab back with a razor blade because, as I seen on some of the other videos, you have to switch this around in order for your your phone to fit in there right, so it'll be charging at the exact point on this pad. So this right here, I ordered from GM Parts now. I think it was like $8. And this is the actual OEM charging pad. And if you look at it carefully, it's got, you know, I guess telling you don't sit stuff on the pad or whatever, showing you how to properly put the phone on there. But anyway, it sits right down in there the same way as the old pad did. Now you can actually use this old pad too. You just do the same thing. You can cut that off right there, take it and flip it around so that this end is on this end like that. So if you don't, it doesn't really make a difference. This one just gives it more of an OEM look because that's what I'm going for. So anyway, this is the new pad. I put that in place. Now, this is the position that it would normally be in an OEM application. But since I've cut that off where that tab goes right there, I'm going to switch it around like that. And when I switch it around like that, pop it in place, then my bezel or trim plate or whatever you want to call it, put that down in there like that. And as you can see, there's no difference. It's the exact OEM fit. Everything fits like it's supposed to. You open that up. You got the wireless charging module there. You got your wires here. And then you just have to take these wires here, if you see, and route them back underneath there where that goes. And then you take your trim cover, and it's kind of hard because I'm in here kind of tight trying to video this, but so I mean, never mind all the stuff that's in my console. That's a whole bunch of little gadgets and stuff that I be hooking up every now and then, my video player and all of that. But anyway, as you can see, the trim plate, you can see where they already had made a little bump out for the charger anyway, as it is right there on the plate right there. So once you order your parts now, you can see right there where it's sticking out, but that actually fits under that plate. And like I said, I'm not going to pop it all back in or whatever right now, but I just wanted you to see just how everything would go. So once I get it together, all back in and all together, I'll